What is going on, everybody? Ryan Leary, William Tincup here with The Barf. This is the look at the week that was, so you can prepare for the week that is. I am coming to you live from Rikers Island. Kind of feels that way. William, what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. It is September. Can you believe that it is September?
I can because the kids are back in school, and
That's
I'm
insane.
damn happy about it.
Yeah. Well, outside of that, it's just it feels like this year has flown by. It's crazy.
It has. It has flown by. You know what? We've got conference season. We've got
Yep.
elections.
Yep.
Kids are back to school. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah,
Right?
a lot of good things happening here. Good.
Yeah, and so some of us need Botox. Right, we'll talk about that.
Well, let me pitch a story to you. Ready?
Yeah, kick us off.
All right, and don't Google it or don't use ChatGPT. What area of the country has the lowest jobless rate? Had the lowest jobless rate in July. Just pick a place. Where do you think
What
it would be?
country?
No, place in the United States.
In the United States.
City, and not city,
Mm,
state, large regional area.
you're getting confusing for me now.
State,
Let's go.
pick state.
Let's go with Chicago.
That would be Illinois.
No.
No. South Dakota. In July, posted the lowest jobless rate at 2%. So check that out. 2% jobless. Like, that means almost everybody's employed. That's crazy. Conversely, District of Columbia, which is not a state, however, it is a district, had the highest unemployment rate at 5.5%. That's a swing of 3.5%, right?
Yeah.
This is all according to the BLS. You can find it on BLS.gov. So that the delta is large. So here's the thing. Like, what makes those areas so different from one another? Is it population density? Is it the clusters of where people live?
Yeah.
Is it farmland? Like what makes that different? And then eventually, as I read that, I'm like, well, why don't the people in DC just move to South Dakota?
I've always looked at DC as just like a tourist spot. I know it's not, but I've always kind of felt that it was.
I think there's yeah. It's going to be one of the top industries, but it's also government, right? So
it's government, right? Yeah.
A lot of people that are in government that serve government. So like the people on, I think it's K Street that are lobbyists. You know, like it's a lot of those people. I think a lot of people work in DC, but they live out. So they live in Maryland, they live in Virginia, they live out. They don't live in DC, or
it's the people in DC that get screwed out of the jobs.
100%.
Yeah. Can we just talk about Illinois for a second?
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it. Chicago.
Chicago's the state, right? I heard nothing you said after that because in my head I'm just thinking.
No judgment.
Third grade social studies.
No. You skipped the day where the capitals and the state. No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
You know. Yeah. Anyhow, take a look at BLS data. It's always interesting.
All right. A while back, we talked about non-competes being tossed out. Well, in a twist of fate, a judge tosses the FTC ban on non-compete agreements. So the reasoning behind this, which is I guess it makes sense if, for me, the commission doesn't have the authority to issue the ban the judge finds, right? So what they said was the judge said that the role of the administrative agency is to do as told by Congress, not do what the agency thinks it should do. Okay, so at face value, it sounds like it's legit and sounds right. I don't know, but I'm sure this is going to continue to go on and on. But
it's also assumptive that Congress works. Right. Like the Congress actually is a working Congress. And again, not politicizing. It's just we haven't had a working Congress in quite a while.
Right.
So, like, what are agencies supposed to do in that instance?
Yeah. Well, I think it's I think Congress needs to just say, yeah, let's do it. I mean, there's smarter people working on this than me. Got it.
Right.
But it hurts people.
Oh yeah.
It legitimately hurts people. There's a lot of people in our industry that are just coming back in and doing work and announcing new jobs. They've been under, behind the radar, behind the scenes, because for the last 8 months, 12 months, they couldn't work in the space that they've worked in for 20 years. And it hurts them financially. It hurts their family, hurts their kid, hurts everything.
Yeah.
And so, it's something that needs to be looked at. So off the soapbox.
Nope, it's a good soapbox.
Nope.
So, yeah, you ready? CEOs.
I'm ready, as long as it's in Chicago.
Yeah, good. So it's right outside of Chicago. CEOs are running companies from afar, even as workers return to office. Starbucks and Victoria's Secret CEOs live in other states. So this is on Bloomberg.com, so go check it out. First of all, my commentary is really simple. This is shitty. And it highlights privilege in such a dark way that I can work from home. I can do a hybrid schedule. I can commute and do what I want to need to, and you can't.
Yeah. Well, I think this is really interesting. So it's funny at the same time. It's shitty, but it's actually pretty. It's interesting though, because I think if I'm thinking like the CEO of Starbucks, for example,
new CEO,
a new CEO. I'm thinking two things. One, okay, I don't trust my people to do their job at their house, but I'm the CEO. I know I'm going to do. I
trust me.
At home.
Yeah,
I trust me. So I'm going to do this.
He lives in Newport Beach, California. So first of all, to add some spice to that,
right? Yeah.
And the CEO for Victoria's Secret moved from Columbus, Ohio, shithole, to New York City.
Another shithole.
No. For what they do, that's kind of like where she needs to be, or where the person needs to be. I don't know if it's a he or she. I shouldn't assume.
Yeah.
But I think I've said this before. I think RTO is about real estate, not productivity. I think it's a fucking sham. This further makes me think that this is a fucking sham, because if a CEO can live in another state, I mean, we're not talking about another city within the state, another state from Seattle to Newport. That's he's probably flying. He's probably in a Learjet, so it's probably a quicker flight. However, that's normally what would be probably a 5-hour flight. Yeah,
and my thought. I mean, now are they? And this is a legitimate question to think about. Are they jetting from across 30 states every month?
He said the article said that he was going to spend significant time in Seattle.
Right. So,
however,
well, whatever. You know what?
He still lives in Newport Beach.
Yeah. 0 emissions by 2030. Go for it, Starbucks. Right. All right. Another shitty story.
I like it.
We got 3 biggins, as we call them, out on the boat joining the club. We got Lowe's, Harley-Davidson, Jack Daniels ending their DEI initiatives.
Yeah.
I said that really weird. Initiatives. So I'm confused on how we talked about this. I'm confused on how to talk about this. I know how I feel about it, but I don't know how to really talk about it, because I can see both sides of what the thoughts are.
That's a Trump thing, man. There's good people on both sides. Like
no. I can see the
Klan rally.
No, oh man, walk that back. No. Okay, so
you might want
DEI programs, right? They're designed to get rid of bias, mitigate bias in hiring, promotion, culture, all of that. The goal is to make sure that opportunities are equitable for all employees, regardless of who they are, what their backgrounds are, all of the above. My feeling is, when these programs are eliminated, the structure weakens.
Yep.
And when the structure weakens, it doesn't always get better. So the argument that we're going to remove this for whatever reason, most that I'm hearing is, well, we don't want to exclude other people across the board. We're just going to hire for who we need. Okay. But you've made this comment. If that worked, it would have worked for the last 200 years.
That's correct. If this was a game about hiring the best talent, we wouldn't be talking about DEI.
Exactly.
because it would
So
just
I'm all
be
for inclusion. I'm all for, obviously, right? I mean,
right.
and so I'm conflicted here because what I believe is why I believe in why we had why companies brought these programs on. I believe in that initiative. I'm conflicted as to why they're going away because I really think it's a business decision and they really didn't want to be part of it. I don't know that they wanted to hurt people. I just
No,
don't think they're interested in it.
it's
I don't
there's
know.
some of this is optics.
Yeah.
It's the perception that they were kind of forced to do
Mm-hmm.
something that they didn't want to do. It was kind of an unnatural act as a result of all the kind of the social activity that from the going all the way back to Occupy Wall Street and
Right.
Love is Love and Me Too and
Mm-hmm.
obviously with Black Lives Matter and George Floyd, it just there was things going on socially that just no one could ignore. There wasn't a person in the United States
Right.
that could go, oh man, we should just keep doing things as we did before.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
look, I mean, I hope I hope we achieve what they say they want to achieve. I do.
how do you achieve an unstated goal? How do
Yeah.
you if
That's
you don't measure it, you can't get to it.
yeah.
I mean, it's just
That's where I'm really conflicted on this. It bothers me. I think about this and I
well,
don't know how to express it.
it
So
should
you know,
it should freak us all out.
yeah.
What they're hiding behind, what these large companies are hiding behind, are two things. We were forced into it by the woke movement. We
Right.
didn't really want to do it. It was that a gun was put to our head. We had to do these things, and we did. It was an unnatural act.
Yeah.
Two, they hide behind our customers don't care, and
Right.
therefore we shouldn't care because customers are the ones that fund everything that we do. Let's take Jack
Right.
Daniels. Who drinks Jack Daniels? I mean,
Not
let's just
me.
call it like it is. Who drinks Jack?
I don't know. A
Do
lot of
we
drunks because I don't like it.
do we think it's a widespread alcoholic drink that's purchased by diverse people?
I'm assuming the answer is no there.
Hard fucking no. It is a
I don't know. I don't know that
poor
answer.
white trash fucking
Yeah.
drink. Hard
Yeah.
stop.
Kid Rocks of the world.
Exactly. If
Yeah.
you're poor and you're white, you drink Jack. Or if you're in college, you drink Jack. Other than that, you grow the
Yeah.
fuck up and you
Yeah.
drink real alcohol.
Well, speaking of
So,
college,
yeah.
UNC Charlotte,
hmm
and I'll just say this: so
That's
UNC
sad.
shutters its 3 offices this week,
Yeah,
and
they
the
have to.
university they have
There's
to
they have to.
right,
The law
right,
they've what the
correct.
Supreme Court came down with. They actually they
They need
have to.
right,
Yeah.
right,
They
and
can't
University of
base
Kentucky,
they can't base it on admissions. So they have to
correct.
refocus those things. I think what most universities are doing is they're moving it from admissions to
hmm
the actual college and talking about inclusion and belonging,
Correct.
which
Yeah,
is good. Like the
I think it's
conversation needs to
easier in the
continue.
university level to fix this and to have it in the right place.
Yeah,
Um,
admissions is a tough place to have it in.
right, right.
Yeah.
All right.
Ryan, millions of freelance workers across New York State will come under new protections starting this month with the Freelance Isn't Free Act, passed last year, goes
Freelance
into
isn't
effect.
free.
Freelance Isn't Free Act.
Huh.
I like that.
First of all, nobody in New York should be under protection. Get rid of them all.
No, so this
Not a Yankees or Giants fan.
This is the act addressing workers' longstanding kind of complaints of missing and late payments. It requires employers to provide contracts for all freelance work for more than $800 and over a 4-month period, and make payments by the due dates listed on the contract. So basically, if a company that freelances something that's over $800 or over 4 months, they have to provide a contract that lists the due date, and they have to pay you by that due date. This is now law in New
like
York,
that.
and I think it should be a federal law.
It should be 100%.
So I'm actually I put the New York stuff aside because I don't have as much of a bias. So I think it's a federal law, and I think you just fucking pay people and don't be an asshole. So I love this, and when I read it, I'm like, dude, this is awesome.
If I was a freelancer and I was single and my family didn't want me here, I would go to New York just for that law.
Yeah. Oh, good point.
Because
Good point.
as a freelancer,
Yeah, you know you're going to get paid.
well, yeah, and elsewhere, you know you're going to get screwed.
Right.
Right. And so if you know as a freelancer, you're getting paid in 30 days, 60 days, 40, it helps you live, right? You
Right.
can't get paid in 120 days and expect to pay your bills in 30 days. But if you
Hope.
know this, right, this is different. I like that law. Good job, New York.
So if you want to find out more about it, you can go to the NewYorkSenate.gov and they'll give you all kinds of analysis and why it happened. I found it on Cranes, but good for them. Good for them, and let's make that a federal law.
Die Yankees, die. All right, I put this one. This isn't like groundbreaking, amazing,
Yes.
but I put it in because you should know about it. You live near. I keep forgetting Texas is like the size of like half the United States.
No, it's the size of Europe. You can put Texas over Europe and go, that's cute.
That's interesting. Okay. OSHA cites Texas daycare provider after a whistleblower reports unsafe, unsanitary kitchens.
Not shocking.
Yeah. So this is a retaliation case, but it's called the Little Sunshine Playhouse. So it has 35 facilities in 9 states. This one in Texas just happens to be really dirty, which I'm sure the other ones are. So it's a $43,000 settlement. Nothing earth-shattering.
But still.
The employee got some severe rashes and some diseases, which I'm sure transferred to the kids and all of that. But anytime I can talk about Texas, I'm going to talk about Texas for you.
100%, as you should. Yep.
Nothing exciting.
Let me pitch you this one. Employee health care costs could grow 9% next year, higher than the 6.4 increase employers saw between 23 and 24. This is on beckersplayer.com, so they cover all the benefits world. And prescriptions, what they cite is prescriptions, especially GLPs, are the excuse for the increase. And I say excuse because that's indeed what it is, an excuse to raise prices.
Yeah.
So anything, if you follow insurance from year to year, there's always something that's basically the reason why prices are going up. In fact, if you look at history of the insurance cost the last 25 years, it's never gone down.
Right.
It always increases. And so
need to be in a business like that.
No joke. We're in the wrong business. 9%. So healthcare costs, let's just say 10%, round it up, 10% higher. And they put a figure in there in the article. This again on Becker's Player as on average $15,000 a family. Like wow. This isn't a little bit of money. This is significant.
It's a lot of money.
That's significant. So there you go.
Yeah, it's significant. And look, when healthcare and prescription, all that stuff rises faster or at a higher clip than your investments.
Yep.
No bueno. No bueno.
No bueno. Oh boy.
All right. SmartRecruiters back on the scene.
Yep. Thank goodness.
We haven't really heard from some. They've been gone.
It's been a while. Yeah,
it's been a while.
They're just quietly doing their job.
Yeah, Rebecca Carr, right? We know her. She's been there for about a decade, maybe slightly more. She's seen it all. She's seen the good. She's seen the opportunity that they have. They've appointed Rebecca to CEO. So congratulations, first off, to Rebecca. This is they've kind of disappeared without disappearing. So I like this move. She's got a fresh take, and I think it's a good step in the right direction. She was their CPO, Chief Product Officer, but she's always really paid attention to innovation, AI, pushing automation, pushing smart recruiters to the limit. I don't know this for sure. I'm guessing there was a ceiling to what she could and couldn't do.
They hired after Jerome left. They hired a kind of professional CEO, gray hair, speckled hair, to kind of come in. It's not somebody from the industry. I first met Rebecca at an analyst event that Jerome put together. It was when she was first hired, and there was probably 10 analysts in the room, so it wasn't a large kind of analyst group. But she was. I mean, Jerome's always kind of he's one of those evangelical people that you just
Yeah.
get drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
She took over the meeting. Like she was
Right.
new. She came in and she said, "This is what we're going to do with the product." Boom, 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 boom. And she's been running and gunning ever since. I think
Yeah.
because this is all about funding. The
Mm-hmm.
investors have finally decided we need somebody that knows the product, that knows the
Yeah.
industry, and that can actually create a vision. You and I talked to the chief product officer at Employ the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and she's equally gifted in the sense of having a vision of
Yeah.
what needs to happen. And so I love it first of all, I love it for Smart Recruiters. They've done some good work since
Yeah.
2010 and before, and I'd like to see them I'd like to see them get back out there
Yeah.
and be a part of the conversation because since Jerome's departure, they've, as you've mentioned, they've fallen
Yeah.
off the map.
Yeah.
But I think Rebecca is the right person. I think she's
Full of
absolutely
energy, good refresh.
fucking
Good for
smart as
them.
hell, man. Good,
Yeah.
solid, 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 solid. All right, job growth not as strong as first reported.
Mm-hmm.
Newly released data from the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, indicate that U.S. job growth was significantly weaker than previously believed, with a downward revision of 818,000
Yeah.
jobs
That was pretty significant.
in March of
Oops.
2024. That's a million people, million
Yeah.
jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This marks the largest adjustment. There's always an adjustment. Like there's a projection.
Sure.
There's always a adjustment. Like okay, I get it. That's fair.
Not
However,
818,000.
it's the largest adjustment since 2009.
Yeah.
And lowers the average monthly job gains from April to March of April 23 to March 24 to 173,000,
Mm-hmm.
down from 242. So this was first reported on CNN. So take a look at that. Almost a million jobs. That's insane. How could the gap? How could we have gotten it that wrong? And in my opinion,
Yeah.
it smells political.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reeks of like let's show that jobs are growing, and then make a big splash, and then retract it later.
Yeah. Retract it later. Sweep it under the rug. There's
Will
a
anyone
couple
notice? Will anyone notice that the 818,000 jobs weren't there?
Yeah. You know what? It's like there's a handful of recession-proof jobs. You've got the weather people,
Right.
right? Like they could just fuck up every day. And like, oh,
Yeah.
well, the weather changed. The wind blew the wrong way. Sports players, baseball players specifically, right,
100%.
can go 3 for 10 and make the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And government. I feel like you can just screw up your job every day, all day, and still be considered one of the top innovators in the world.
And these are some of the most important jobs on the planet. That's the sad part. Is again, if we missed by a million jobs, okay, why? Like, why isn't there someone doing an
That's
inquiry?
almost not a miss. That's almost sabotage. Like somebody said, you know what?
Moved a decimal point.
I don't like Kamala. I don't like Biden. I'm going to screw this up.
No,
and
actually,
come back.
it's positive for them.
Well, right. Yes. No,
It would actually be
Reverse,
this is good
yeah.
news, right?
Yeah. So, anyhow,
Bad.
all right. This is another one where not a ton of commentary from me on this, but it's really interesting, and I think it's gonna be really interesting to everyone listening. Leaked recordings from the AWS Amazon Web Services CEO came out because why not? And this is what he said: software developers could stop coding soon as AI takes over. So I wanna read a couple of things because I think it's you should know about it.
Right.
So I don't disagree with this, but it's gotten a ridiculous amount of coverage, obviously on CNN, CNBC, Fox, Business Insider, all Reddit. Forget it. It's breaking. Like people are going nuts here. 3 things that have been highlighted. I'm going to read these to you. Coding is just kind of like the language that we talk to computers. It's not necessarily the skill in and of itself. Point 1. 2, the skill in and of itself is like Now I'm saying these words because this is his quotes directly.
These are quotes.
Like. The skill in and of itself is like, how do I innovate? How do I go build something that's interesting for my end users to use? And third, it just means that each of us has to get more in tune with what our customers need and what the actual end thing is that we're going to try to go build, because that's going to be more and more of what the work is as opposed to sitting down and actually writing code. Now,
actually, I think this is positive, Brian. I don't think this is
negative. Very positive. I don't disagree with any of this, and it's going crazy about how Amazon's cutting all their developers.
No.
This is what we want.
It's changing the job of a developer to be an architect and to be more customer facing rather than sitting down and coding. Like the ones and zeros, we needed you 3 years ago to do that stuff.
Yeah.
We don't need you to do that.
This is building product for customer, right? This is working with this is sourcing versus recruiting.
Right.
Do you need to source anymore? Hate me all you want. I don't think so. I don't think you need to. In a couple of years, you're not going to want to. You're now going to be a real recruiter, a real partner.
Yeah, sourcing analytics, that's cool. Sourcing intelligence, that's cool. Recruiting operations, hell yeah. But do you need to go into pick your favorite thing and write a Boolean string?
Yeah. Do I need to run a site search and try to hack LinkedIn and bitch at LinkedIn because they're making millions and millions? They should make it's a goddamn business. They should make tens of millions of dollars.
They put all those people in the box.
They did the job. Yeah. Just because you can write a site search doesn't make you fucking Houdini. Like, all right, I'm off. Forget it. I'm already canceled. Go.
Well, Ryan, if you're not, your crow's feet makes you definitely on the block for being
Botox coming to a city near you.
Dude, I'm down. I'll do it with you.
The city of Illinois. How about that?
I got this little crinkle right here. I'm down. We go do it together. All right, so we got 4 acquisitions.
All right, run through them.
All right, Avante acquires Aiken Cloud. So in this particular situation, large staffing software company in the form of Avante, acquires a smaller Aiken Cloud, a smaller staffing software company. This is on Business Wire, so you can go read about it there. Terms of the deal were not disclosed. Larger staffing company, again, buys smaller, big fish, small fish. Consolidation like this is just a part of kind of where we are with financing being harder to get and sales being slow. So, like, if you look at the kind of the petri dish of why we're going to see this, we're going to see a lot of this type of stuff. So we're going to see a lot of acquisitions. This was just one that happens to be in the staffing software market. Ding.
Ding.
Ripple acquires Adonis HR to deliver global end-to-end, get ready, maritime HR solution. Yeah. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I probably should have. After so many years of like staring at this stuff, I probably should have known. Like, oh yeah, they've got HR on boats. Anywho, so if you go to thedigitalship.com, you can read more about this. But Ripple is now proud to serve with this acquisition over 380,000 mariners.
Wow.
On more than 2,000 vessels in nearly 100 countries. Ryan, that's a lot of seamen.
Oh, boy.
Maritime HR.
Good Lord.
I would like to, so seriously, all kidding aside, I would like to work that job one day. I would just like to go and find out, like, what the hell is maritime HR? Like, what is that? And go do that bit for one day. And not more than that. I want to be teleported in and teleported out.
Well, I have no idea. Let's get someone from Adonis on the call.
Yeah, Ripple. Yeah.
You know what? I'm assuming I know what it is, but anything in the ocean. Yeah. I don't care what happens.
The ocean's like space to me. Deep ocean. It's like space. It's the same stuff. One's out up there, one's down there. And they're both equally awkward.
For as much time as I spend on the water, the moment I am on a boat in salt water,
right? Yeah.
It's not good.
Well, it's space.
Good.
You patch the atmosphere, and all of a sudden you're going to feel the same way. It's like, why are all these satellites out here? I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing in deep water.
I thought you said, why are all these salads out here? I'm like, I like
I don't
salad.
understand why
You're not
salads.
eating up there. Whatever.
Same bit. All right, Lightcast acquires talent intelligence provider Strategence. So this is on lightcast.io. And you can read all about the acquisition. Basically, the acquisition makes Lighthouse global. So Strategence was more of the global talent intelligence player. And so they've just been, they had great data scientists and have. So they're acquiring, Lighthouse is acquiring that talent and they're acquiring those customers. It's going to make them more global with talent intelligence. I think keep an eye on Lightcast. Because talent intelligence is just, that ain't going away anytime soon.
Interview, talent, everything, all of that.
Well, like we learned during our interview of Talent Neuron, like that blew my mind in what they can do. So keep an eye on Lightcast. Yeah. Again, great stuff. I think it's a great acquisition. Yeah. And it also it makes them global by acquiring them. So yes, good for everybody involved.
Good. We should put intelligence behind our name.
Okay. Work-defined intelligence?
Intelligence or work-defined intelligence. And I feel like, hockey stick all the way up.
We're just one word away. That's
it. On that note, Talent Neuron really is not the Talent Neuron of yesteryear. Like,
oh my God.
If you haven't seen it, guys, go check it out because blow my mind. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it was dope. All right, last acquisition to talk about today. Direct Employers acquires Equality Magazine's job boards to amplify job visibility and DEI solution. So this is on finance.yahoo, so you can read a little bit more about it there. So I think this is a good pickup for Direct Employers. And if people don't know them as well as maybe Ryan and I, this is an OFCCP compliance solution. They do all kinds of cool shit around that. Mm-hmm. In the sale, they got a network of diversity-focused job boards. So including...
That's a win.
blackperspective.com, hispanictoday.com, veteransenterprise.com, and WIB1.com, Women in Business.
Yep.
So that said, why did Equality Magazine sell these properties? So these are things that make you...
Yeah. Well, probably not profitable for them. They didn't know how to do it right. They were at a point where maybe it hit a ceiling. Who knows?
Yeah. But
I'm just impressed that Direct Employers is still acquiring job boards in there.
I think it's a great pickup for them. So for the Direct Employers people, I'm like, yep, that's
win.
Dope. Win for
their customers. We need a sound effect that just says winning.
Win. Charlie Sheen. We just get the Charlie Sheen MP3. Winning.
Winning.
All right, Ryan, we are on to research. Are you ready?
Educate me, homie.
All right, let me give you one. U.S. businesses lack quality temporary employers. Temporary workers. 70% of hiring managers report a low fulfillment rate due to not finding the right workers. Reports Indeed Flex. Right, you know Indeed Flex because we interviewed their CEO.
Yes, and that was a really fun interview.
That was a really fun interview. So this is on IndeedFlex.com. You can go read about it. So staffing agencies can't find the talent. So a few nuggets that came from this report. 68% of U.S. hiring managers report using staffing agencies to recruit new staff, cover seasonal workload fluctuations, and fill in absent permanent employees. Okay, 68. We're over the two-thirds mark. Okay, check. 61% of U.S. businesses say that staffing agencies state they will work two or more agencies. Okay, all right, so we're still close to the 66 mark, two-thirds. And 70%, back to the thing, is the managers report a low fulfillment rate. So they're unhappy with their staffing agencies. So these are things that at one point they come together. Okay, if you're using staffing agents, multiple agencies, and it's not being done, and you're not doing it internally, at one point someone's going to knock on your door and say, "What's going on here?"
Yeah. Did they break this down by size of agency?
Yeah, they did.
Because I didn't see the report, but
geography.
I almost feel like boutique staffing agencies would do a better job than larger agencies. I could be very wrong. I don't know. But from my
That would be very
experience,
interesting.
boutique agencies are local. We
Or
have one
niche-y.
local to me.
Yeah.
They've been there for 30 some years, and I just want to walk in. It's a storefront.
Right.
It's almost like an illegal storefront, like their gambling ring or something. And I want to walk in there.
It's a massage parlor next door.
Yeah, like I just want to walk. Like my question to him will be, how have you been here so long? Like, what are you staffing in this location with 21,000 people in this town? How are you here that long? What are you doing? And I feel like it's because they're a staple in the community.
Right.
When you're in a pinch and you need a job, you go there. And they put you in a place that you normally would not have gone before for a temporary job. And I think larger staffing agencies are so baked into the LinkedIns of the world and all this other stuff, as opposed to just being local in the community.
Interesting.
I don't know. I've always thought that. I think this. I'd be interested to see the breakdown here.
All right. Okay. So, what do you got?
All right. I'm torn on this one.
Okay.
The research is really good. It's conducted by Gallagher. 5 key benefits is, well, there's a longer title, but 5 key benefits of like why employees are at companies and things like that. Right. Voluntary benefits. I should say voluntary benefits. So these are 5 key benefits to watch in 2025. So voluntary benefits, just kind of set the stage here, is a game changer. Now it's a game changer moving forward, period. So 63% of employees are willing to switch jobs. This is from the research. 63% of employees are willing to just up and out because benefits are better. Now that's including salary. So salary, all things being equal, salary being less.
Who's got the better benefits? Yeah.
Better benefits that fit their lifestyle, they're willing to have the conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
So employers offering integrated benefits obviously will do better. These are things like supplemental health plan, legal services, identity protection, things like that. Okay. So
you skipped 5 key benefits. You skipped over pet insurance.
No, I didn't get there yet. You ruined my surprise for you. So all right, 5 key benefits. Supplemental health benefits, critical in this accident, right? Legal plans, services, identity theft, I did that. Permanent lifelong care plans.
That's
you're
cool.
all going to die sometime.
That's actually cool.
And that is good because I was never offered that in corporate.
Long-term care is awesome.
That really is, especially since you're going to be working until you're 97, right?
May as well.
You might as well have it. And then that infamous fucking pet insurance.
It's there, baby. It's there. It's there.
For people that listening, I love pets. I have pets. I have multiple pets.
Goldfish, hamsters. Yep.
But pet insurance is one of these things that just keeps follow me around.
Dude, it's a thing. It's think of it as these are expenses that just come out of nowhere.
Yes. Yes.
And if you take pets out of it, I mean, it could be engine block insurance.
Yeah.
It's just insurance. I mean, it's an expense that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's $3,000 to get my dog to X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You know, everyone's going to do that.
Absolutely.
Everyone's going to do that.
It's a benefit now, especially if you have multiple dogs or dogs that would potentially, they're high risk.
Dude, we looked at bulldogs. Michael and Van and I, we looked at bulldog puppies the other day. We've had an English bulldog before. We loved it. And so we looked at them, and there was 2 of them, the same litter, gorgeous dogs. And so we're playing with them. They have us in a little like pen, and we're playing with them the whole bit, holding them, and they're like chewing on my shoes and stuff, like typical stuff with puppies. And Michael asked, my wife asked the gal that was showing us the puppy, and she was like, "Okay, so what are we, what are we talking price wise?" Well, now you could get both of them, and there's plans, there's this, and I'm like,
there's plans,
just get to the price.
Put it down.
8,000 for one, 10,000 for the other. Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. No
they got their
way.
They got their no way. Trust me, I could send you the bit. So, but they got their papers, so it's AKA. You know what I'm saying? Like they legit. They're
I have boats
okay.
without papers. I can care less about fucking papers. I'm not paying $8,000 for a dog.
10,000. It was 8,000 for the boy, 10,000 for the girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the equity in that? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Come on, who's
Hey, look,
complaining about
if
this?
we can breed them and we can have, and we can sell each one for $8,000, I might be in.
The boy could be studded out. She actually said it. She said that. She goes, listen, you can stud him out. He's got great color. You can stud him out. I'm like,
could be. So pet
pimping ain't
insurance,
easy.
I used to joke about it, right? Like we've done. Everyone probably knows by now, right? We did the the Sherm thing, and they showed up. And what are we going to talk about? Now it's kind of it's a thing. Like I can't really joke about it because God forbid I need it. But
it'll come out.
It's like a thing. I'm kind of sold on it. Yeah, I'm sold on it.
All right, let me give you this one. New research of U.S. labor force participation in employment finds shrinking prime age population being filled by older workers, reports the Employment Benefit Research Institute, EBRI, for those that care. So ebri.org, you can go find the report. So, okay, Boomer. So legit stats from 2009 to 24 highlight how boomers stay in the workforce longer. We knew that. And younger generations are gigging out, and so they're taking those jobs. Okay, so some of that we kind of knew, but the implications for workforce strategies is something we need to talk about because, okay, for instance, what happens when the boomers actually retire? So basically what the report's saying is the moving demographic is through 2009 to 24, 16 to 24-year-olds, let's just say, they've opted out of those jobs. Right. Boomers have taken those jobs because they had to. If you look,
where's the skill set going to come from?
That's exactly right. That's the interesting thing is like, okay, when it's like musical chairs, right? When the music fucking stops, what happens then? Right. And so, because boomers they can't work forever.
No. Well, I can tell you what's going to happen. There's going to be no fucking chairs, and they're all going to fall.
This is what keeps Chipotle up at night, or Home Depot, or whatever that. Yeah. This is what keeps them up at night.
Well, this is So yesterday we had a really fantastic conversation the other day with Greg at Southwest, and they spend a lot of time inside of schools.
Yeah, they do.
Not pitching jobs.
Nope, just talking about aviation.
Just talking about aviation.
Elementary,
right?
middle school, high school.
Yeah,
they're going. It's vertically integrated.
So it's interesting. A lot of companies will go into high schools. Let's talk about STEM. Let's talk about this.
Right.
Fantastic, right?
No, they're going into elementary schools.
Elementary, and that's genius. One, they're educating kids, and it's exciting, right? They want to be a police officer, fireman, or EMS, or teacher. Like these are professions that go into elementary schools, and kids look up to them.
Dude, he said something that blew my mind. I'm still chewing on it. He said 7 out of 10. He goes, you give me 7 people out of 10, and I'm gonna put them on the docks. So they're gonna be throwing bags.
Right.
And you get the other folks go to college. 7 of those people are going to be outpacing those people in pay.
Yeah. And they will all be 401k millionaires when they retire, he said.
That is correct. That's
correct. Every one of them.
So mind blowing. I mean, Southwest is always here locally in Dallas. Southwest has always had a good reputation. Always. Like I remember as a kid hearing stories about how cool Southwest Airlines was. But it was really cool to hear his story.
And when you're in the community and doing this, right? So this is kind of where I don't know how Chipotle goes in and talks about food or whatever. Right. It can go in and talk about nutrition and things, whatever.
Guacamole.
Right. But these are things like Southwest isn't going to have these problems. Ford is not going to have these problems because they are in the elementary schools. They are in, primary education, not talking about them, talking about the industry.
Yeah.
And making their brand iconic and making their positions. Like he said, when people walk in, they either think flight attendant,
right,
or pilot,
right.
They don't think about all the other positions that make
logistics,
the plane
go. Math, all of this
control,
stuff,
everything.
They've got everything. Again, really cool story. And again, it's to your point earlier about the staffing firm being local. and being present in the local.
Mm-hmm.
Southwest is doing that everywhere they are. So everywhere they are, they go. That's not just a Dallas thing.
No,
They
no, no.
go. They do it everywhere they are. It's a
Everywhere
part
they
of who
have
they
a
are.
hub
Right.
is local for them.
That's right.
Yeah. So good for them. Good for everyone. We should bring him
hate.
back on. All right.
Oh, 100%.
So this one, this was really fun for me. Short read, super short read. So I found this on Benefits Pro. Very short read if you guys want to go read it. But it's what employees want in today's office space.
Oh,
it was interesting. And so it caught my attention because I'm like, okay, well, what is office space? And I'm going down that rabbit hole in my head. What is office like? Is it my home office? Is it the studio? Like, what is it? So 20% of workers preferred fully remote, while more than half of the people surveyed, I forget the number of people, I have to go back and look, prefer to be in the office 4 to 5 days a week.
Really?
That's what they're finding, right? So tides are starting to turn according to them. And actually a couple of other surveys as well were showing this. And it's not based on generation. Not based on gender, it's based on loneliness.
Really?
So feeling alone. So the honeymoon of work.
Get a pet.
Right. Get a pet with some pet insurance. You'll be all fucking be perfect. But yeah, so the honeymoon of working at home for a lot of people is getting old. And that's totally fine. Like, however companies want to, now companies that real estate might have some issues, right? This is now WeWork will come back, right? And all this. Anyhow, so there are different needs for different generations, though. But one thing generations agreed on: the value of dedicated seats and a private office. That was it. I know that's so
that goes
basic.
Against some of the consulting firms that had the hoteling, like you could sit wherever you wanted to and move
just
around.
A farm of hotel, just go. Yeah.
This is I want a box. If I'm going to go back, give me a box.
So basic, but so important, because dedicated seats versus
that kills that open floor plan.
Open floor plan, which I thought was, I hated that shit.
Cube farm.
That was the most unproductive situation I've ever been in. Dude. Let me just hear the 10 other people talking all day and interrupt my conversations. Now I sound like I'm in a call center when I'm trying to recruit a candidate that I want to pay $400,000 to.
What's going on behind you?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Where are you calling from?
Yeah, where are you? So anyway, so the key signals here, right? Productivity, loneliness at home, and a sense of belonging. Those are the three things that came out of this research. I thought it was pretty cool. Private offices was interesting. They didn't go deep on it. My thought on private offices is two things. You've worked at home now for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
If you have a private dedicated space, you understand and you appreciate the private space.
Yeah, that's
private space is no longer reserved for leadership.
For executives, managers,
you don't need
stuff like
the corner suite. You need an office to be productive. If I want to talk to you, I'll come out of my office.
Yeah. That goes against some of the things in soft skill development that they pitch as far as RTO. Like we're going to collaborate more. Well, if everybody's in an office, like we're on Zoom calls together and we're 3 offices away from each other, why are we? Why are we in an office? But anyhow, I hear you, and it dovetails nicely into this next story.
Yeah, and I also think, but there's something to be said to being in the same office on a Zoom call with a bunch of people. It cuts down on the water cooler talk. So you're in an office, you're being productive, you're still seeing people, but I don't need to talk to you for 45 minutes when you're 3 offices away. I can do that at home.
Dude,
I'd rather be in the office and be productive.
I always had a fridge in my office. So I always had, one of those medium-sized fridges. So I didn't, that water cooler stuff that people talk about, I'm like,
that's in my office. Come get it.
I've got a full bar.
It's like I called out with Jeremy the other day. He's got a whole rack of bourbons. I'm like, you guys, I don't know how you do it.
I don't need to go to the water cooler. I'm good.
I am the water cooler.
I am the water cooler. You're going to come to my office and drink. All right. This dovetails nicely. 9 in 10 companies will have returned to office by 2025, according to a survey by Resume Builder. Now, 2025 is, just check your watches, that's
next week.
4 months away. September, October, November.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So this is on resumebuilder.com. And you can go look at that. So I believe RTO is a sham. And the more people talk of its importance, the more I'm convinced that it's a sham. These are the key findings of the survey. There's 764 companies that were surveyed. 87%, this is where they got the 9 and 10, of companies will RTO by 2025, and 64% say that they already have.
Is this like full RTO, or is this just like a portion?
Full. Many companies will have RTO, will increase the required days in office. So to your point, so maybe it's a 3 days a week. Now it's going to go to 4 days a week. Okay, so you can kind of see it's like Animal Farm. The rules just keep changing. So the last point is companies say RTO improves productivity, culture, revenue, and more.
I don't disagree with that. I'm coming around to it.
No, dude, okay, let's go back to the Starbucks and Victoria's Secret. The CEO can live in, first of all, if I could live in Newport Beach, I couldn't afford a trash can in Newport Beach. But
we just moved. The coffee was too expensive out there.
Yeah, if I could live in Newport Beach, I would. The CEO of Starbucks lives 3 states away.
Yeah,
they live 3 states away, and now we're talking about
every private jet and goes to work.
No, he doesn't. Not every day. Ain't happening. I mean, it sounds good. No, he's going to be doing a lot of work from home.
Right.
So again, what's good for the goose should be good for the gander.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're going to make employees come back, we should make executives come back.
Oh, 100% on that. 100% on, unless the executive is traveling 80% of the time.
Yeah. A VP of sales or something like that. Yeah, it's a different.
That's different, and they really should be.
Yeah, they're carrying a bag.
Now, I have come around to the idea that RTO is not a bad thing. I do believe it will improve productivity, because I don't believe, after all of these years, and just conversations that we've had and seeing people. I mean, the amount of people that are not at work and they're at the park walking and everything.
Well, that's because their mental health. They're actually living their life, and they're going to extend their life by not commuting and not doing this dumbass thing where they go into an office and get in their office, as you say. They get in their office and then don't do the things that say that actually means something.
It won't. A couple days in the office isn't a bad thing. I'm not promoting it one way or the other, because I would suck in an office.
I think it's a sham. I just think it's a sham.
I haven't been in an office since 2008 or 2009 or whatever.
I think it should be totally voluntary. So I think there should. My take is real simple. Have an office. If people want to go to it, great. If they don't, great. As long as the job
is suffering, do you have to come to the office?
Again, if the job's not getting done, yeah. Either you're not the right person for the job, or you need to figure out a different way to do the job. I got no issues with that. But the ultimate option should be the employee's option on whether or not they go to an office or not the employer. So, there you go. Proletariat versus the bourgeois.
Let's talk some dollars and cents.
Tilt, a human resources technology platform that helps companies and employees navigate the leave process, raises $15 million. This is on bizwest.com. Take a look at it. I love this funding, because anything that makes leave easier for employees is a win for all employees. Go Tilt.
All right, nice. All right, so this company, I'm going to mispronounce the name. Pangium, maybe? Pangium, something like that, whatever. They got $4.25 million seed round. Now,
that's a big seed.
It is. No, was it with you that I mispronounced the word spatial, or was that in a different company? Okay, no. I said spatial the one time, and I was talking fast, and I was like, all day I'm like, don't say spatial. Don't say spatial.
You're good.
Okay, so spatial and social analytics, right? So they deliver spatial and social analytics that help companies make informed decisions about office layouts. Now, I don't know if you've ever been through this, or if you're listening and you've been through this. I've been through this with Connexa. Right. They had a company come in, and it blew my mind, the science. It blew my mind, one, that they brought a company in and paid them the amount of money they did. in order to track the number of steps I took to the bathroom,
Yep.
to the copy room. Remember copy rooms?
Yeah.
To the fax, right? Like to all of this stuff, to
That's
the break
legit.
room. Yeah, like it and how many what I had to do, how I got to my bosses versus my team. It blew my
Conference room.
mind.
Yeah.
It blew my mind how much effort and money they put into this, and then redesign the entire office.
Yep.
But in the end, it was awesome. Like it was
Yeah.
really cool. I no longer had to go here to there to there.
Right.
I literally just went right
Just
there.
squeezing out all the inefficiency in work planning.
Yes, and it really is a thing. So anyway, 4.25 seed round. Congrats. I love companies like this, and I think that's pretty cool.
Okay. Jobilla, like Godzilla. Jobilla raises 6.6 million. I translated that from euros to expand global multilingual AI recruitment platform. This is on gpte.ai that I found this. Cool name, large seed. So that's 6.6 as a seed. That's not playing around. They're starting. What I like about this particular play is they're starting with global AI. So they're not a lot of people start with like, okay, let's get it to work inside of the United States or wherever you are. No, they're starting with a platform that does global AI in recruitment. So good for them. I want to keep an eye on them because that's a large seed.
Yeah.
So the next raise will be really interesting to see. And that's it.
All right, nice. So this is one of my favorites. I say that about the spatial company, but this is actually, I think, something that's really truly needed in our space. So the RX Safeguard raises 1.7 in a pre-seed round. So this is a card that you go to the store and you pay for your healthcare, your prescriptions, etc. And so this is funded by the employer. So each month the employer funds a set amount on the card per employee. Unused funds will roll over. So the employer, so the employer only replenishes what has been spent. Okay. So you don't get $150 this month and not use it for 6 months and you can go like, oh, I'm going grocery shopping. No, they only replace, but you're always going to have that set amount in there. And I think that's an incredible benefit for people to have. I know it's out there, but this is another one, and I like the idea.
Because we talked about healthcare costs going up because of prescriptions.
It's going up, what, 9%, you said?
9% next year.
So maybe this lowers it for each individual employee.
Right. Do you remember us talking about work pay about 6 weeks ago? Ish?
Maybe.
So this is a Kenyan-based payroll.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Remember this? Back then they raised $9 million.
Yes.
And we said this is cool because it's a global payroll. Instead of going wide, they're going deep.
Right.
6 weeks later, Ryan, I looked it up. 6 weeks later, they raised another $5 million to expand HR and payroll platform across Africa. So doing the math there at home, that's $14 million. They got Visa involved in the funding. So legit
that makes sense.
Funding. Yeah, everybody wins there. So this is a lot of money in a short amount of period, but you can see the opportunity, the market opportunity. They first started with Kenya. Let's get this stuff down. Boom. Yeah. Wait a minute. We'd like for you to go across Africa. Done.
Yeah.
Now they're going.
So was this? Do you think this was a planned raise, or it was like, oh, hey guys, we can do this.
100%.
Let's get more.
100%.
Yeah, they realized right away.
Other people came in and just said, "Hey, listen, you need some more money?" Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll take over Africa.
I think we need to put WorkPay on the watch list and
100%.
Yeah. If they're getting money that quickly, then there's something else there.
14 million in 6 weeks, yo. That's legit.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right.
Yep.
Anyhow, good for them. Good for Africa.
Congrats to them. Okay. So Cadence launches Fem.ai. They pledge. Okay. So this really isn't like a funding thing, but we're going to put it. So I put it here. So they pledged $20 million. So I guess it is kind of funding to kickstart gender equality in the AI workforce. So Cadence.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So Cadence is a company that creates software and tools to help design electronic gadgets. So like think like smartphones, computers, car electronics, right? So the goal here is to propel women and the industry towards a more equitable tech sector. That's where they're focusing. With an emphasis, an emphasis on opportunities in AI. So this is where it's at. So the Cadence Giving Foundation, which is what they're called, committed $20 million towards Fem.ai, which includes philanthropic and product donations over the next decade to organizations that align with their mission. So
I like it. In fact, how could you be against it? This is an extension of all the STEM programs we've seen in the last 20 years about getting girls interested in the hard sciences. This is just a natural, nice extension. Great for everybody. There's nothing. There's just nothing to say bad about this. Good for them.
Somebody didn't remove their DEI.
No,
too soon.
Philanthropic, but
philanthropic.
No worries. Your money line, Ryan. You know these people.
I do know these people.
$4.5 million to improve employee financial health with AI.
Nice.
This is on yourmoneyline.com. And Ryan, we're going to have Peter on the show on the You Should Know podcast next week to discuss financial wellness. And I didn't know anything about their funding when we booked them. So he's going to be talking about the financial wellness and the business cost of not doing it right by your employees. So the opportunity cost. So congrats on the raise. He does a wonderful podcast. So it's legit. He knows his stuff, and they just raised $4.5 million. Congrats. We'll learn more.
Congrats. Yeah. That's going to be a good conversation.
I got two more. Let's go through them. Impact Tool, an AI-enabled career platform, raises $4 million. This is on eustartups.com. Take a look at them. A lot of language regarding matching and intelligent matching. What I like about this raise is how they talk about the nature of how AI should help you manage your career. So I like, because it's a career platform.
I do like that.
That AI, like you've talked about pilots and co-pilots being around you and saying, you should be doing this, you should be thinking about that. This is a job that you want, like that type of stuff. They're embedding that. So I love that. And congrats on the $4 million raise.
Yeah, for real.
Last funding news of the week. Thera, Thera. Thera scores $4 million seed to make it easier to hire and pay international employees. So this is an international global payroll play. This is on VentureBeat, so you can go learn about Thera there. Large seed. So $4 million again. It's a large seed, but it's a crowded market. With all the players that have gotten money, a lot of money in the last couple of months and years, I'm really interested to see what's their differentiator. But what is it going to be? Like, what's going to be the bit that really makes them different in a global payroll space that used to be there was only 4 players, then all of a sudden now there's 100 players.
There's right.
And legitimate players that can pay across 160 countries, etc. Multilingual and all that stuff. Time will tell, like what we have here, but that is a large seed for something that is a crowded market. So good luck to them.
Yeah, congrats to them. And the question in my mind is, do we need all these players? I think we do. I think we need innovation in this space. It's been a space that has been highly innovative, but not understood over the course of years. And I think these smaller players are coming in and pushing, and a lot of them will get eaten up or they'll die. One of the two. But I think there's a lot more room than just the 4 big guys.
100%.
So, 100%. Awesome. We're done. That wraps us up for the week. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Love us, like us, subscribe everywhere. If you have a moment, please take a moment, review, hit the stars, and say some great things about us. We would love you to do that. Helps you. Then we're going to be at HR Tech coming up. We're going to be at iSolve Connect. We're going to be at Indeed FutureWorks.
Yep.
So if you see us there, please don't be shy. Come up, say hello. And if you don't see us, well, then just watch a video. We'll see you next time.